Welcome to the Bear Pit Pod. We are back again. Once again.
Yeah, we're back once again.
We're back. iTunes, Acast, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you are listening or watching, drop us a like, drop us a review, always 5-star please. I guess we get straight into it. And
Let's go for it, yeah.
It was an emotional weekend.
Yeah, it was. I mentioned on the matchday thing I did that the game all week for me felt a little bit secondary. It felt like a side note of the Banks tribute, memorial, whatever you want to label that particular thing on Saturday. And I think the club's come in for a load of stick, justifiably so, over the past 18 months, 2 years, for various reasons, both on and off the field. But I think they well and truly need commending for.
They got that right.
Oh, they nailed it. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
Nobody does it better. That was the song played on the big screen as he was making all his saves.
Yeah. Nobody does it better. And it was very emotional when they were playing the kind of the montage of Banks in his performances and saves and whatnot before the teams come out. It was very emotional, I have to say. And
Jack with the kit.
It looked brilliant. They've
They
got to
should sell that.
They've got to get them
sell
on
that
sale.
and raise money for charity.
100%.
It was a beautiful kit.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Should keep that.
Yeah, I wanted one. And just a side note, I just thought that, like, despite the modern kind of modern ethics, the modern designs of new kits and all the rest of it, it just looked better.
Looked great.
It looked immense, yeah.
Looked great. No badges, no sponsors, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just a number on the back.
Yeah.
But it did look smart. But yeah, it was an emotional weekend. It was a great send-off. I think we also have to commend the Villa fans.
Yeah, they were good.
They were great.
They were good. I'm always on edge when there's stuff like a minute silence for somebody associated with a club or a famous player or person in football.
When Stanley Matthews, and did we not have Wigan away? And
Wigan away.
That didn't go very well.
I went to that game and I would have only been like 10 or 11 at the time, but I do remember it kicking off.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened or why it happened on that particular day. I don't know if it was a pre-planned thing. I don't know what the hell happened.
Strange, but the Villa fans were great.
Yeah, they were.
Very respectful. Joined in with all the minute silence. Didn't hear anyone speak out of turn or anything like that.
I think I retweeted from somebody who put out there, please can we have a minute's silence, not a minute's applause, and I completely agree with that sentiment. Sometimes a minute's applause is more appropriate, but I think it's so much more hard-hitting if it's a minute's silence. It just feels right, especially in relation to kind of one of Stoke's greatest ever players, arguably their best ever player.
And we didn't need any minutes applause. We had one social media page from Stoke-on-Trent asking for 3 during the match.
They wanted like 166,
I can't even remember.
81 and 72 or something like that. But
they took it down, to be fair.
And on a side note as well, and I know the social media from the Banks thing from start to finish has been great as well. I think that the stuff they've put out, the club has been really kind of fitting to Gordon Banks.
Yeah, it has. And also, obviously, there was the mosaic tribute as well, the cards. There was a few, it looked great. There was a few random green ones dotted about, though. I didn't quite get that.
Yeah, I did see that post. There was like a little cluster of greens, not quite
where they should have been.
I was in that stand, so I couldn't see what it was like at the time.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't work out why, but maybe it was just a mistake. I don't know. It still looked great.
Yeah,
it was only a little tiny bit. The club are also going to be showing the funeral on the big screens if anyone wants to go and watch it there at the ground, and they'll also be live streaming it on the website.
Yeah, that's this coming Monday, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the times?
I can't remember the times. I think it starts at 11.
11 o'clock.
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
11 a.m.
Yeah,
I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, great send off for Banks. We commend the club for everything they did.
Yeah,
commend the Villa fans and also the Stoke fans, because it was I think everyone got quite emotional and it was done well and everyone played their part. So well done everyone on that. And rest in peace Gordon Banks, because he will obviously be missed.
Yeah.
Onto the game then.
I thought off the back of all the Banks stuff, the game was going to start and we were going to win 5-0 and it would just be a perfect kind of send off and everything. And it was vaguely on track.
Yeah,
great start,
initially.
And then it obviously didn't play out like
Vokes with his first goal for the club.
What a finish as well.
Great finish, backheel.
Yeah, some people argue the keeper should have done better, but I think that he wasn't expecting such a clever finish. It completely took him by surprise.
Then it just trickled in eventually and bulged the net. But he did get injured.
I know.
I'm not sure if it was from that or something afterwards.
I think I've read since that I don't think it's quite as bad as I assumed it might be, and the story seems to be that they just wanted to be sure. just wanted to be sure. They felt if he kept him on the pitch for longer, it would have kind of maybe he pulled his groin or something like that. But it was just a little bit tight or something, so they didn't want to risk him
off.
Yeah,
fair enough. He's one of our only strikers, so we do need to wrap him up and call him one.
Yeah. He's one of our only decent strikers.
Well, yeah,
we've got a lot.
We've got. Sorry, we have got
some
strikers.
are either getting pissed in London or just not that great.
Yeah, not applying themselves. Some of them.
Yeah.
So Vokes now off the mark. Hopefully, can build on that when he's back. Charlie Adams started this game.
Yeah,
he was back.
He was back. I mean, he was on the pitch till about mid-60s or something like that. He went off. I think he was limping by the end, but I thought it was another good performance. And even when he's been inconsistent with his passing, at least he's thinking about doing the right thing. He's playing them 70-30 balls, which we've just lacked this season. We've been trying to pass it around in the wrong areas. He gets his foot on the ball, looks up, hits a spot, and we push on from there. And I just think we've missed that so much, so much. And when he does get his passing spot on, it's brilliant. The first goal.
Yeah,
he went for a halfway line spectacular as well.
He did one of his shots.
It wasn't too bad as well.
Yeah, he has
the keeper's scrambling a little bit.
Yeah, he has won a game.
Yeah,
he has won a game. That was his one.
Yeah,
I think we have to give out a special mention though for his dive.
That was fantastic. That was generally what was a dire game. That was the highlight.
That's a great highlight.
Like a swan.
Like his shot.
It was so
he'd been sniped.
It was really, really good. Is there a video of that anywhere that exists?
Yeah,
online?
I've tweeted it out.
Have you got one, have you?
Someone else found it, Josh something, I think, on Twitter, but it's on my feed.
Okay, I'll have a look.
I've shared the video, but yeah, really it's a brilliant dive.
But he played well, and I think the 2 games he started now under Jones, he's played very well, but his fitness has always been his Achilles heel. Yeah. Always been his Achilles heel, and the fact he's got injured in both games shows we just, as much as he does bring something to the table, we just can't rely on Charlie.
No.
In a fitness sense. I mean, we barely could back in the day, let alone now when he's 33, 34. It's such a shame, but we do need to get a kind of a fitter version of Charlie. I was hoping Woods could fulfil that, but something's not quite right at the moment.
No, I have to see. I was going to say Ryan Woods wasn't anywhere near this.
He was on the.
Was he on the bench?
I thought he was on the bench.
Might have been. I might have completely forgot.
I thought he was on the bench, but yeah.
Inevitably, Villa equalised. Adoma with the goal. How did you see that pan
out? I always says if Stoke don't win, I never watch the highlights. It just looked messy defending. We were scrambling. They exposed us down the flanks, as does often happen with this diamond formation. Leaves us very, very open down the sides. Just messy defending. I think my brother made a good point. When they get on top, and specifically when they score, any team for that matter, our heads go. We cannot handle conceding a goal. We completely panic and lose all structure, confidence and formation. I think
it was a little bit panic stations.
Oh, it was ridiculous. I think the biggest problem with this Stoke squad, I think Jones has cottoned on to this point, is mentally we are just at 6s and 7s. There's no confidence at all anywhere throughout that squad, that team, and it showed up and down the pitch. No one more specifically than Juve, I thought, but we've got to get the psychology of this team right. We need a whole new list of players in just to kind of try and alter the mood.
That was going to be my next note. Juve came on ahead of Bojan. There was a few groans that went up around me from not only when Juve came on, but when Afobe came on.
Yeah.
And Bojan was still sat there on the bench when we were looking to struggle to create anything.
Yeah.
He came out in the press last week and said about how he wanted to play it, and that we said maybe throw him in there, give him a chance to prove himself, but yet again another game goes by and he's not used. And
it was so glaring. It's not like we needed to defend a 1-0 lead or something. I think it was just there to play Bojan, and I just want this whole bloody saga just to go, and I think we can conclude it by playing him. If he's good, brilliant, we stick with him. If he's bad, it just confirms it to the fans and we can move on. But I just feel like we're in limbo constantly with Bojan, what to do with him.
I agree. I just want do you know what? I just want the season to be over now. I know we've got a while left, but
we have. I mean, we're saying that in February, which is worse.
Bad.
Very, very poor, isn't it?
Who didn't play best?
I'm gonna have to say Juve.
Yeah.
Did you? I mean, the second Vokes went off. I thought the first half was all right, to be fair. With Vokes and Adam on the pitch, I thought we played very well. Vokes went off, and as the game kind of gradually wore on, we got worse and worse and worse. We lost structure. But I'm gonna have to say, Juve. His first touch is awful. He's the worst player to have come on in that formation, because when you play in that diamond formation, the striker's got to be able to hold the ball, and
he didn't.
He can't, let alone didn't. And I think he was our worst player. He just looked absolutely shot of confidence. It's almost sad.
I agree.
Seeing the groans when he misplaced a pass or failed to control it was just a bit like,
it's so all over the shop, and it's so awkward for him. It seems.
Yeah.
Everything he does is a bit.
He doesn't look like a footballer.
Unconventional.
Yeah, I think for his sake, he needs to kind of move on from Stoke now and just refine his strengths within football, because I don't know what they are anymore, sadly.
Neither do I. One of the match?
Etebo.
Again?
Yeah. I was thinking this the other week, who's our player of the season, because there's no candidates really, but I think he wins that quite comfortably. No one else has consistently performed well, and he generally does. I always come away thinking Etebo played well. Yeah, definitely Etebo. Jack had a good game as well, actually. Made some good saves.
Jack did play well.
Yeah.
I think that was a fair enough result, to be honest, the draw.
Mm-hmm.
Two teams in very similar positions.
Yeah.
Second half we were nothing like we were in the first. I think a point was fair.
Yeah.
All round.
Yeah.
But yeah, Aston Villa was a strange one. I was watching them play, and I couldn't really work out if they're underperforming or they're actually really, really bad.
Villa.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't know if I felt like these could be something.
Yeah.
With a few changes, or they're really, really bad. I couldn't quite work it out. I thought they were a very strange side.
Yeah, they reminded me of Stoke a little bit. I think they've certainly got enough quality littered throughout the first 11 and the squad players to do better than they're doing. But I think that playoff defeat in the final last year has really knocked the club. Really knocked them back, and I think
I was going to say they had Tammy Abraham as well.
Yeah, Glenn pulling the strings.
Yeah,
good to see Glenn.
Glenn Whelan back.
Good to see Glenn.
He got good reception.
Yeah, I like that. He deserves it as well. I mean, he's a Stoke City legend, isn't he, Glenn? He fully deserved that. But yeah, Villa very similar to us. I think they're just completely lacking confidence all the way throughout on the pitch. New manager as well. We'll see him next year.
And there was a bit of something before the game, last week, that blew up a little bit. Liam Lawrence spoke to the Sentinel, as he does, because I think he's got a weekly, a monthly column, and he launched a scathing attack.
It was scathing, yeah.
A scathing attack on the Stoke City dressing room, and he said, this is just the quote that we put out from that article, "If Glenn Whelan was still in this Stoke City dressing room, there might have been a murder or two by now. I'm not kidding. If I could tell supporters just half of what I've heard about this Stoke squad or certain members, their eyes would water. Players turning up late for training or not turning up at all, and players clearly showing the wrong attitude in training. The club must get rid of Berahino, whatever it takes, because the manager must be allowed to progress with good professionals if Stoke City Football Club is to move on. I wish I could name names, I really do, because some of the stories I am hearing make me sick to think what that Stoke City dressing room once was."
Not to name other names, but you have heard a similar account from another ex-Stokey.
Yeah.
Similar to that. There's some people in the dressing room that are getting away with murder. So I can't help but think there is something in what Liam Lawrence is saying, not because I just believe him outright, but look at the state of us. We've got too much quality.
Something's obviously not going right.
Yeah, 100%.
Within there.
Outside of Berahino, I do struggle to think who that might be. Because, I don't know these players inside now, obviously, but they seem like a reasonably decent bunch, I feel, other than Berahino. I don't know who
well, interestingly enough, there was obviously a retort, and this was from James McLean, who's posted on his Instagram, which was obviously in reference to what Liam Lawrence said. Despite outside drivel from shite talkers, great bunch of lads. And then Charlie Adam also defended James McLean on Twitter. Two people there with a guilty conscience, maybe getting a bit defensive, or
perhaps. I think it's going to be a little bit of both, isn't it? Let's face it. I think there's obviously going to be some good characters in that dressing room. Still, obviously, we've got the odd remnants from back in the Prem days with Adam, Shawcross, and all that sort of Butland. But I do believe Lawrence to a point it just makes sense. Look how poorly performing. There's got to be something in that, and we have heard from someone else that used to be at Stoke as well. I just can't think who that might be. Just guess. I mean, who do you think is a bit of a wally?
Well, I'm going to guess at them pair. I think they
McLean and
I
Adam?
think they got ultra defensive, ultra quickly.
Think.
And I think it spoke volumes, so to say. I know that them pair of mates as well in that little clique.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that they're the two, or they're a couple of the ones. But that's just my guess.
I mean, they're going to come out and say that, aren't they? Because someone's indirectly had a go at you. So you're going to come out and defend yourself, rightly or wrongly, aren't you? But there's got to be something in what Liam's saying. There just has to be. Look at the state of us. It just, has to be. Has to be.
What was I going to go on to next? I've completely forgot. Even got it written down here, but I can't. I've missed something out. So I don't actually know what I was going to speak about next, Craig.
I tell you, I could speak about Etebo did I think I read this on the Oatcake. It's the Oatcake or one of my WhatsApp groups or something. But he did a bit of a Q&A with my detail is awful, with a sponsor or something, or the club or whatever, on, I think it was Twitter. And somebody put the question to him, will you be here next season? And his answer was a proper sidestep.
Right.
So I'll review my options in the summer, or something along them lines, which is worrying.
Great.
Because he's the only player that's coming out of the season with like any sort of credit, and to lose him would be a real kick in the nuts.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No.
At all.
No.
At all whatsoever. I've just remembered.
You remembered what it was?
Yeah, it was The Secret from last week.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, not enough of you have messaged in, so...
Would you wouldn't reveal that anyway, would you?
Nah, I might.
So,
I might.
For those who don't know, Elliot knows the colour of the away kit for next year from I was going to say reliable source, but it is the source.
It's the source.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you all. I need more hashtags, more comments on the video, more reviews. Sorry, there was some, not enough. Before I reveal that sort of shit that could probably get me in trouble. So let's go on to the questions from everyone. First up is Jake Hall, of course it is. Give me your best bets for the Cheltenham Festival. I think that might be directed at me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, if you said someone was 2-1 on, I mean, I get the concept that that's very, very, very likely, but I'm just, betting is just so far removed from I never bet.
Okay.
You work for a betting company.
Yeah, I won't give him, because I know Jake's purely asking for, Jake, you can lose your money on your own, Jake. Millie Bakes says, what are your thoughts that we're only 11 points off relegation? Should we be concerned yet?
Did you say yeah?
She said, do we be concerned?
Oh, do we be concerned? I mean, I'm half looking over my shoulder, but at the same time, I'm dismissing that worry because that would just be ludicrous. Nah, we'll be fine, but I acknowledge the concern.
Nathan says, do you think Charlie Adams should be given a contract extension in the summer? I think he should get at least a 1-year extension. What do you guys think?
You're a no, aren't you, still?
Yeah, I'm definitely a no.
I mean, as much as I suppose, defended Charlie in the past, I probably would, but at the same time, it's clear that his injuries are going to continue to kind of trip him up in his fitness in general. So I would, but that by no means can be our plan A.
Yeah,
it can't be our plan A.
Shouldn't be
his fitness just isn't. It's not consistent enough.
In 2020, we should not be using Charlie Adam as a first team player.
I think he's a good player. I just think his fitness has consistently kind of held him back.
Well, yeah, you'll always have that technique, but he's good at it. Well, he'll be found out. He'll be found out eventually, and I don't think he suits Jones' eventual style of football that he'll want.
All I know is we need somebody to get the ball up the pitch quicker, and he's the only one in the squad that does it.
Yeah, bring someone else in then.
Yeah.
in his place. Simon Donnelly says, if you could interview a player from this squad, who would it be? And does Charlie Adam, always smacking it from the halfway lane, actually help as he did it yet again this weekend? Does it actually accomplish anything? No, it doesn't. Apart from the one time he scored it at Chelsea, which makes him think it's okay to do it every game since.
I don't mind it.
So it's up to you if you don't mind it, because it counted once.
I find it funny. I don't mind it.
But if you could interview a player from the squad, who would it be?
I'm trying to think of the one player that would genuinely kind of like dish the dirt. I think Joe Allen would be quite honest.
I think he's quite to himself though. I don't think he'd
dish any dirt. Open up enough.
I'd interview Barry, and just say, "What's gone wrong, mate? What are you doing?"
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah,
what are you doing, you tit?
I've got to trust in him to tell the truth regardless.
Jamie Unwin has sent in a picture of an elderly woman locked in a cage and said, "Tell us what next season's kit is, or she isn't getting out." Now, if I didn't already know that meme, then I would know that woman's not safe, and I would actually have to reveal. But I know that's not your nan, so I'm not going to reveal it. Do leave us some more comments about that though, and then we'll maybe reveal it. What else have we got? Harrison says, where do you think Jack will go next season? Because I can't think of anywhere. I think there's actually a comment, and I'm not sure if it is further down here. It is further down here. Someone actually put, to follow up with that, Sean says, do you think Begovic could return? Jack possibly the other way. Bournemouth are arguably the first team he improves when you work down the Prem table, and Begovic is out of favour.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird, isn't it? But a couple of years ago, 18 months ago, Jack was looking probably at a top 6 team, but now I think he has to accept that his stock's fallen considerably. Yeah, makes sense. Can't argue with that logic. Begovic out of form. How old's Begovic now? Must be 32, 3, something like that. Yeah, makes sense on paper.
Yeah,
makes complete sense.
I can understand that one. Bournemouth is probably, as mentioned there, one of the only teams that you
could do with a new keeper.
Improve the keeper. A new keeper. So yeah, I agree there. Maybe a Watford or someone as well. They've got Ben Foster. He's good, but he's getting on.
Yeah.
Gomez is their backup. There's another possibility, so to say. Brian says, ask Craig what he thought he was doing outside the Horse and Jockey last night.
The hell was that?
I've got absolutely no idea.
Is that a pub?
Maybe.
When did he post that?
37 minutes ago.
Last night I went to the gym, then I went home, so I don't know what that is.
Right. Sorry, Brian. It wasn't Craig.
Yeah, it wasn't me, right?
It wasn't Craig. Stoke staff says, when will the season end? I can't take it anymore. I think it's 4th of May.
just Google it, mate. Yeah,
I think it's 4th of May also.
It's Sunday, isn't it? Sheffield United home last game.
We've already covered Liam Lawrence, which Matt asks. And Geordie of Suburbia says, after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's success at United this season, which former player would you have if Nathan Jones was sacked? I don't want him sacked, by the way, in brackets.
Former player.
I'd give Delap a go. He's been in management, coaching, for a while.
I think so. None of our ex-players of recent memory are really in the management sphere, are they, other than Graham Potter? Yeah, I think Delap's probably the best candidate knocking about him. He's already at the club, but yeah, and I think he's a good bloke, and I'd have faith in him, yeah. Yeah,
I'd go with that. Sam Davison on Facebook says, your opinions on Sam Clucas so far? He thought Saturday was his best game in a shirt.
I agree.
Not in a shirt, in a Stoke shirt.
In a Stoke shirt. I think we finally found where he's best suited. It's weird, because the further up the pitch you get as a player, the more exposed your abilities are. And the argument often is fullbacks you can hide a little bit, but he looks a very classy fullback. He looked a decent footballer in that position. He assisted the goal. I can't help but see now no reason why he can't be our left back going forward.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that was one of his better performances at the weekend.
Looks solid.
Left back
looks solid.
Is probably his place.
Yeah, I think he can add a lot going forward as well, because he has got them sort of credentials to attack.
Yeah, I don't think we need him too much further forward. Jordan Coker said, please read and remember in capitals at the start of this message. The year is 2026. Stoke proceed, but it's proceed, I think he means, to the last 16 of the Europa League after Sam Vokes scores an away goal at Roma. Nathan Jones rejects an offer from Arsenal. Man United put 200 million bid in for England's first choice right back Tom Edwards. Stoke currently sit in 7th in the Premier League, 5 points ahead of 8th place Watford. Charlie Adam is still in the middle of spraying the ball about. James McLean sits on the bench, hating the Queen. Bauer still can't get on the pitch. Ollie Shenton is still playing for the under-23s at the age of 28. Mark Cartwright and Kevin Wimmer have been banned from all dominoes in Stoke-on-Trent. I have spoken.
I think he's...
I mean, I want whatever Jordan's on when he wrote that, but fair. I love how he said, please read and remember at the start. Remember like it's already happened.
Like he's time travelled and this is going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, so thanks to time travelling Jordan Coker. Mandy Francis says, who will you be most sad to see go in the summer that's probably leaving?
Etebo. I think because he's only decent.
You think he will be leaving?
I just got a bad feeling. Yeah, I've got a bad feeling. I mean, Butland probably will, but I think he's replaceable. I really do. I don't think he's the Jack of a few years ago. But I think Etebo is the only player that's performed this season.
I would be gutted if he did go. Feeling. I'd still feel bad about Jack leaving.
Yeah, naturally, and I hope he'll recapture that form at some point in his career. But at the moment, I think that there's other priorities out the pitch.
Simon George says, "Do super fans get a T-shirt?" I wish we could, but it turns out there's a fair few of you. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 just on that post. So we will be quite skint if we were to give everyone T-shirts. That's a super fan. Peter Stoddart says, "When will we score 3 goals in a game again?" It's a ridiculous amount of time since we did that.
Next year.
Next year, you think?
Not happening this year, is it?
No, probably
not. Next year.
Probably not happening anytime soon. And then lastly, let's have a look at the Instagram questions. TBPTV, if you don't follow us there already.
This podcast is getting, by the week, more and more morbid.
Depressing.
Because of how shite this season. I mean, it's quite a short one, this, because there's literally nothing really to kind of ponder, is there? We are generally just a bit shite, and we are waiting for May, aren't we?
Pretty much. We are hoping that this
Hats
season...
off to those people that are listening to this, because
ends pretty soon.
It's miserable.
It is so miserable. So miserable. Joe Wycherley, I hope I've said that right. Thoughts on the new singing standing area?
Is that happening? Is that a thing? I heard
it was. Yeah, it was. SCFC Lovers Noise, I think, on Twitter, etc.
Is this an official thing the club have introduced, or just the fans?
No, the fans, but I think the club are getting behind.
They emailed Bearpit, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, I liked it because it didn't go down that road like Crystal Palace, and they had this fake shitty ultra thing going on about it. Yeah, like the idea of it, like an organic, natural British atmosphere. I think is always welcome. I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. Matt Thorne, I'm eating midget gems. What's your favourite pick and mix sweet?
Alright, midget gems are rubbish, by the way.
I don't like them.
They're rubbish. Pick and mix. I don't really like much pick and mix, gelatine, all that sort of stuff. I think it's crap.
I love the big snakes. You always have to throw a snake in there.
Then, I think it's a snake. The long green ones with the white bit in the middle.
In the middle?
Yeah.
I've got no idea.
It's not a snake. It's like a really long sort of tube, piece of green pick and mix, like a white centre. I'll find a picture. It's all right. It's fine, but I'm not the biggest fan either way. But midget gems are rubbish. Stop eating them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Crap. Just taste of nothing. Just rubbish.
And the politically incorrect should be dwarf gems.
Yeah, good point.
Favourite game from the Hughes area, says Jack Farmer 98.
It's got to be, well, I mean, Liverpool 6-1, but for me personally, I think Everton away.
4-3, yeah.
Because I actually thought, on top of it being an amazing game, last minute winner, I actually thought Stoke we're actually going places here. We're going to be starting challenging for the top 7-6. We're really kind of get up amongst it.
It had everything as well. It had the lob, it had Joselu hugging the ref.
Yeah, the penalty from Arnie at the end.
Which was great comedy.
That was it. I really thought we are going places as a club. And ironically, not far from that point, it started to go tits up. But Everton 3, Stoke 4. Yeah, definitely.
Agreed. And there's a lot of questions asking us about the Vokes injury. We aren't the club. We aren't Sam Vokes or the physio team.
But there was a quote put out by the club, and it did basically suggest they didn't want to risk the injury kind of getting worse. They took him off as like a precaution, which suggests it's nothing too bad at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know anyway.
No.
I don't know for sure. And Stephen Hubbard says, I worry that after reading up that Nathan Jones wants to sign from the lower leagues and the Championship, that we end up repeating what Ipswich have done, but I'm hoping to repeat what Norwich are doing instead. Also, this team is more capable of winning Championship games, so why aren't we?
Psychological. I just think the players are shot mentally. Yeah. That's going to take a massive bit of work to kind of pull them round.
Like I say, just see the season out and then have a complete...
We just need some real
fresh
positive new heads in at that club.
Definitely. And lastly, on Twitter, fan of Moritz Bauer, who we thought was Moritz Bauer last week. I don't think it is Moritz Bauer.
It is.
It might be, it might not. Hi, what do you think? Why Moritz wasn't in the squad on Saturday against Aston Villa? Thanks.
In response to Moritz, I'd say that this is now 2 managers that have bombed him from the team quite quickly, and I don't know, no smoke without fire, maybe. I mean, Lambert really didn't get on with him, he's bombed out quickly. And Jones is seemingly doing the same thing. You can't help but just ponder. Is he wrong in penalty? I don't know enough, but is it a coincidence that this is 2 managers now? That's our response, Maritz. Tell us more.
Who knows? So lastly, we've got Forest at the weekend up against Martin O'Neill, an old foe in the managerial scene.
We should have. I mean, we've got Jones. I'm behind Jones, but I still maintain we should have gone with for O'Neill and Keane potentially as a package. I do think they were the perfect fit for Coates and Stoke. I really, really do. But that ship is so good win for them last night against Derby.
Yes,
1-1-0. They are well and truly knocking on the door of the playoffs now. It'll be a difficult game. It's difficult to get yourself motivated, isn't it? Because, I mean, let's just get over the 50-point mark and make sure that doesn't become a reality and get on with it.
Yeah, we're at home.
We do need... I mean, he's won 1 in 9 now, hasn't he, Jones? And as much as I am behind him, I know that the fans will start to get on his back if he doesn't start picking up the wins. So I think for the sake of next season, we do need to get some wins in there.
I think I can see another draw, you know.
Probably.
He's just drawing the rest of our games.
Yeah, just scrapes like 53 points.
And then the weekend after, it's QPR away.
Which I'm raging about. I live about a 10-minute walk from QPR, and I'm in New York. Sod's law.
Craig.
I say raging.
How long are you going there for?
Just 2 nights. It's ridiculous.
2 nights?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, yeah.
To New York?
Yeah, it's daft.
Surely you fly there and you just got to turn home.
It's ridiculous. Well, I get in on Monday morning at 8:10 in the morning. I'd have to go straight to work. A mate of ours lives out there, but... yeah, a bit of a weird call.
Jesus, that is a strange one. So you missed the James Olcott derby?
I do. Well, he's with me. He's in New York as well.
Oh, he's good as well?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, you both jetting off.
Yeah.
Alright, so that has been the Bear Pit Pod. Make sure to drop us a like, leave us a 5-star review, Acast, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, which we are on now, YouTube, all of that good stuff. Make sure you leave all that. Plenty more hashtags and responses if you actually want to find out the kit colour, because I'm not revealing it yet.
No, we will apologise for negativity, but let's face it, it is very negative around Stoke at the moment.
There's not much to get happy about. Maybe I can give you one happy note to leave on.
Go on.
It's Abdul Faye's birthday today.
Brilliant. Cheers, Al. That's picked me right up.
He was a good defender.
He was, well, for 1 year he was, yeah, anyway.
Captain.
Yeah. Cheers. Buzzing now.
I thought I'd do it.
Buzzing now, mate, yeah.
Shit. That's been the Bear Pit Pod. See you next week.
Bye.